Michael, Ricky, thank you. It is the conclusion of a warm and steamy afternoon here in Virginia's capital city and part of our 10 hours of NASCAR coverage. From the action track is NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying. And for some of NASCAR's biggest stars, this weekend's their last chance to clinch that place in the chase. Kyle Busch has got to forget about the ones that got away and focus on winning at a place where he scored many times before. Jeff Gordon needs all the perseverance and luck that saw him earn a win at Pocono. And Carl Edwards, he was last year's championship runner-up, but a frustrating season means he must win this race to have a chance at another title run. It's a must-win for many at the action track in Virginia's capital city, coming up for the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series on Saturday night. And we get ready for NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying with 45 cars to run in time trials that begin just moments from now. A couple are going to get to go home without the opportunity to race. And for others, a chance to earn an upfront starting spot and help their cause and try to race their way into the chase. Here are those who have the shot at those final two places, the 8 who can get in to the 2 wild card positions, and what their speed was in the first of today's 2 practice sessions when everybody said the faster of their laps. You see the rankings anywhere from 9th to 21st positions for Ambrose, Gordon, Logano, Newman, Kane, Edwards, Menard, and Kyle Busch. And back topside this time at Richmond, Alan Bestwick with former Richmond winners Dale Jarrett and Andy Petrie. The cars were on the track last 2 hours ago. Now for the drivers, they're going to walk out from their motor coach or their transporter, buckle in that race car, and have to nail 2 quick laps on the clock. How big a challenge is that here under these conditions?
Yeah, huge challenge. Some of these drivers, like Tony Stewart, who are going out early, wish they had put up a little better number so they could possibly get a little bit of help from some of the cooler temperatures that may get here before the end of this session. But it's a difficult qualifying effort. You have to attack this racetrack, and the speed that you carry down into turn 1, it's a fine line between getting in there and making a good lap and overdriving it just a little bit, and then you've got it totally messed up.
Yeah, we're talking about hundredths of a second here for the way these spots will be divided up. And so the pressure on the setup is really big because you can see the shadows are getting longer out there on the track. It's going to get cooler and cooler. So you have to kind of guess a little bit about how you set that car up for these quick 2 laps. And like I said before, this is going to be hundredths of a second separating these cars.
Now, qualifying up front is not a must. We've seen races won here at Richmond from as far back as 31st on the grid. But if you're one of those 8 guys racing for those final 2 spots, wouldn't it make your night a whole lot easier to start up front?
I promise you it'd make it much easier. Certainly 400 laps is a long time. A lot's going to happen tomorrow night in that time. But things get awfully crowded. When you get back past 12th spot, there's 3 wide racing. There's hard racing, sliding around on this racetrack. Yeah, it would be much easier if you could get in a solid effort, get a nice pit selection too.
Yeah, and if you've got a fast car, so let's say you have just to have a bad lap in qualifying, and you have a fast car, if you start in the back, you got to use up a lot of that car to get there, and that's what I don't like about trying to come from the back. If you can start up front, the pressure's off of you in the early part of the race. You don't have to knock the fenders and the brake ducts and everything off the car to get to the front.
Temperature will be a crucial factor through the course of the qualifying session. Mentioned those going early, those going late. The first practice session when everybody set their quick lap of the day. There you see what the track temperature was. Currently down to 102, and we'll see what it is by the end of this session a little while from now. When NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying is over with, we'll go right into NASCAR Countdown for tonight's NASCAR Nationwide Series race. Telecast presented by Can-Am. That'll be over on ESPN starting at 7 Eastern Time. And then tomorrow, the chase deciding race for the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. ABC is where you'll find the coverage starting at 7 Eastern Time. Remember the rain out last weekend of the Mac Tools U.S. Nationals for the NHRA drag racers? One of their highlight races of the season will happen this Sunday in Indianapolis. ESPN2 starting at 3 Eastern Time. Look forward to seeing how that one turns out. Join the conversation throughout our race weekend coverage from here in Richmond and the rest of the season for that matter by following us on Twitter at NASCAR ESPN. And the hashtag for the Pit Studio is just that, hashtag Pit Studio. Tony Stewart among the first to roll. Qualifying begins in a minute. NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying at Richmond. First car on the track being driven by Reed Sorensen in the 91. 21:83 first lap for Sorensen. The fast lap set in the practice session was a 21:52 that Jeff Burton set in the early practice today, a little after noon Eastern time.
That's a pretty good indication right there that we've got a better track than we had earlier, because that's quite a bit quicker. Actually, about almost 4/10 quicker than he practiced.
So Reed Sorensen, the first one to put his laps in the book. And let's check downstairs on pit road with Dr. Jerry Punch. Hi, Doc.
Hi, Alan, and hello, everyone. You know, despite spending 45 minutes in qualifying trim in practice 1 today, Tony Stewart was only 42nd fastest, and that means he'll be the third car to roll out here in the heat of the day in qualifying. The car was really tight for most of practice. The crew told me a moment ago they took a major, big-time, huge swing at it to free it up in qualifying to try to make it freer, so qualifying should be quite an adventure for Smoke. Let's go to Vince Welch.
Well, and of course, Doc, it was Tony Stewart who deprived Carl Edwards of that championship a season ago, and now Edwards is faced with the possibility of maybe not being in contention for the title at all. He's on the outside looking in as far as the chase contenders are concerned. And when it comes to Edwards, the situation is fairly straightforward. He must win the race tomorrow night to have any chance at the chase. Now, that task could be made a lot easier if he qualifies well tonight. Starting up front certainly provides immediate track position and also a better pit box selection, things that you guys have talked about up in the booth. So Edwards fastest in that final practice. Now it's time for him to deliver in qualifying.
And Vince, as we watch J.J. Yaley, key words to what you said there was he has to win to have any chance, because he needs to win, and he still needs a couple of other things to happen with people having bad runs to have a chance at getting that place in the chase.
Yeah, but as you said, first off, he has to go win the race, or there's no chance whatsoever. J.J. Yeley had a pretty good lap going there on the second one, but slid a little bit wide in the middle of turn 3.
Mark Green, by the way, was supposed to be the first car out in qualifying. His car was not there at the appointed time. They're on the 5-minute clock. Waiting to see if they will be able to make a time trial attempt within their allotted slot. So Tony Stewart, third out onto the racetrack after being 42nd quickest in the opening practice today. Surprising? Oh yeah, was to me.
Yeah, there's no doubt that it's quite surprising. If they opted to, we talked about it in the show, opted to go out in race trim and not put down a lap, and then temperatures just continue to climb as far as the racing surface, and could never get that lap down that they were looking for.
Yeah, qualifying's never been that big a strong suit for Tony here. I mean, he's won 3 times, but his best qualifying was second, but that was back in '99, the second time he came here since '09. About the best he's ever started is 16.
Well, they said they couldn't get it to turn in the center. I don't know how much it turned sideways. It's what it did down in turn 1. I think Tony's just kind of feeling this out a little bit on this first lap.
Remember, just before the end of the final practice, we heard the radio transmission where he said, all right, now I think we've got something to work with. That looked like a little bob down into the corner there, too.
Well, they spent so much time in race trim that they don't really have a good, an idea. Tony probably didn't have a good idea of what they had here for a qualifying run. But
you can see much smoother.
This is a great lap. I think this is going to be pretty good. I mean, for the time that he's going out. Yeah, 21:53. That equals really about the best times we've seen today.
All right. Well, be interesting to see where that shakes out after they've all run. But Tony Stewart putting up a number to make them all think about as NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying gets rolling. The early leader in NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying here at Richmond, setting the starting order for the chase deciding race Saturday night, 7 Eastern on ABC. Dave Blaney is out on the track now. This is Dave's second lap. The first time lap put him second out of the 4 that have gone.
It's like he's going to slow down about 1/10 of a second on that second lap. And it used to be here, before this track started losing a lot of the grip that it's lost, that you could pick up on your second lap with the tires and with your air pressure. You set them like that, you could make up 1/10 or so on the second lap. I haven't seen it much, even though Tony picked up. I think Tony's was more, he was filling out what he had with the changes that they had made. But I believe that we're going to see the first lap be the quickest most of the time.
21:53 for Tony, Vince.
Well, it's been a frustrating day on a variety of levels for you, Tony. How do you summarize the kind of day that you've had today and the importance of it as you look ahead to tomorrow?
Yeah, the most politically correct way is to say it's been frustrating. So, you know, I don't think we've got a bad race car. You know, when it comes to 15 laps into a run, we just got to get to that point. So it's just, it's not been a good day for putting up a big lap by any means, and that's what it's got us in this position here. So, you know, we'll keep battling with it, see what we can get.
Thanks for the time, Tony. AB?
Hey, new smoke, new. The word's politically correct. Sure, he'd heard him. I just didn't know he had him in his vocabulary.
Just the look on his face, the way that.
Yeah.
It's been a tough day for them. They've worked hard.
Yeah,
It looks like they've made it a lot better. I don't know if it's going to be as good as he wants it.
And there's reason to think that he won't be part of the mix tomorrow night, though.
Yep. It's third quick for Stephen Light on his first lap, 21.64. Light, one of the drivers that must make the race on time. There will be two that will be bumped out and get to load him up without having a chance to race.
But it won't be Stephen. He locked himself in on that first lap, so he is in the race.
Really good short track racer. And Steven's a good race driver, but certainly cut his teeth on the short tracks and won a lot of races.
First lap, the quicker of the two, but as Andy said, Light does lock himself in. He's ahead of two other drivers that must make the race on time. And he'll be in the field on Saturday night. Boy, that hurt your hands, wouldn't it?
Oh, that would be rough on him.
Boy, you tell Carl to get up on the wheel. He'll have to really get up there, won't he? That's a steering wheel that they use to go through technical inspection with the engine shut off, and these real quick steering boxes that the cars have. And a lot of the drivers opting for these real small steering wheels. You can see Carl's steering wheel. It makes it very difficult to steer the car through tech, and that's why they have a bigger wheel for that to give them a little leverage, and that's just a kind of a cool way of doing it.
David Reagan. Thinking back a few years ago, watching David with a spectacular run here at Richmond. Gosh, when was that? 07 maybe? It's been a good track for him. He's got like three top 5 finishes here.
Came in here a few years ago battling to try to get in the chase.
Yep, that's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Pretty good lap going here. Oh boy, did that take a turn.
Yeah, just didn't quite have the grip where he needed it. Yeah, his best finish was third in 07, Alan, so he's had some good runs here.
That's good enough for David. Puts him on top of Tony Stewart, top of the scoreboard. And the second lap would have been even better.
Yeah, if our tracker was anywhere close, he had a nice run going down into turn 3. But that's your last corners of all of this. Your tires are worn the most right there. And you probably got a really good run off of turn 2. So he's carrying a little bit more speed into turn 3 than what he had been. And just didn't have the grip.
All right, there is Mark Green in the 0 car. They've made it to the head of the line in the allotted time. And it seems hard to believe because Mark's been around for quite some time in the NASCAR Nationwide Series, but this is, if he makes the field, his Sprint Cup Series debut.
And he is a good qualifier, but this is a big challenge for him. This is a new team, didn't have much time on the track. I think they lost a lot of practice time. Just a lot going into this first effort, trying to make it.
I read that they're trying to use some older equipment that they got from other teams, and that's all the way down, not just the chassis and stuff, but all the way down to the components that are on there. So it's a huge challenge for them to come here and try to make this race. This car not wanting to turn very good in the center of the corner. You can see had the wheels turned, but didn't want to get to the bottom.
And you come out here in this highly engineered era of NASCAR Sprint Cup Series racing, and you're going to try and, whoa.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you can look at that. Just look at the front splitter as it makes the corner. The car's got a lot of roll to it. I mean, there's just a lot to making a car go fast. This new team is, well, it's got a lot to learn.
Well, Mark will be 7th out of 7 so far. That does lock Reed Sorensen into the field for Saturday night's race. 22.32 for Mark Green. Ken Schrader getting ready to go, Doc.
And we always talk about landmarks in the sport. Tomorrow will be Kenny Schrader's landmark 750th career Cup start. And congratulations on a great career. But I'm going to put you on a spot here. You drove for Hendrick. Give me your ideas, your thoughts on this wild card tomorrow night. Is it Kyle Busch or Jeff Gordon?
Well, it's going to be tough for Jeff to overcome a 12-point deficit. But, you know, Kyle, he's got a terrific finishing record here. Jeff's probably a little more stable over the high pressure situation, so it'll be tough to call. But I'll take Kyle in the 12 points, even though I'm a Hendrick Motorsports man, true and blue.
All right, Kenny Schrader, good luck. Great career for Kenny Schrader. He'd be a good politician, wouldn't he, guys?
Not really. He drove for me, too, and he didn't say a word about APR. He said he was a Hendrick Motorsports man.
There's all kind of lines that open themselves up there, and I'm going to let him go.
Yeah, yes, you do.
You just said that Rudiman was really spinning the tires off of turn 2 that lap.
David 5th out of 8 on his first lap. It's funny on these shorter tracks with that qualifying graph that the curves really stand out. You can really see where they gain and lose the time. 5th out of 8 for David Rudiman. David Reagan is on top of the scoreboard at the moment with Tony Stewart second. Juan Pablo Montoya getting buckled in and ready to roll. On the clocks at Richmond, Eric Almirola looking for a starting spot in Saturday night's 400-lap race. Be just his second try in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series at this track, and he goes to the top of the board.
He worked really hard to get those tires up to temperature coming out of the pits. He took his time about getting up to speed. Looked like he's paying off.
Remember all that great success Denny Hamlin has had here at the racetrack, right? Man who directed the effort for Denny Hamlin is directing the effort for Eric Almirola here. Mike Ford, the crew chief. Second lap a tick slower, so it's a 21:43 for Eric Almirola, new leader in qualifying. Doc?
Talking to Jimmy Johnson, and they talk about a team that made a lot of progress in that final practice session. Jimmy, you were second overall. You got a shot at the pole?
I feel like we got a good top 5 car for the pole. We focused a lot on race trim in that first practice, and it was really important to lay down a quick lap time early in that session to post well, and we ran an okay lap. So long story short, we made a lot of progress through the day and then focused solely on qualifying runs in the final practice, that short one we had. And we got the car pretty good. So I wish I had a little bit later draw. You know, the sun's going down quick and the track's going to pick up, but I still think we can put up a strong number.
Talking about focus, I know you'll have your focus on what's happening with the 48 tomorrow night, but how much will you be watching your teammate, Jeff Gordon, and what he's trying to accomplish and get in the chase?
Well, I certainly want him in the chase. You know, I want all 400 cars in the chase, and certainly want the best to happen for Casey Kane as well. If he can get inside the top 10, it puts him in a better position championship-wise as well. So I'll be watching, but I hope it's all in my rearview mirror. I hope that I got a nice, comfortable lead, and I'm watching these guys behind me do their thing. But we need all 400 cars, so that'd be great for the company.
Thank you, Jimmy.
You got it.
Jimmy Johnson, guys.
Yeah, it's great to have him in there as long as they're behind him.
Make sure you put that in perspective.
Always
That's
the
what we gotta
competitor.
make.
Juan Pablo Montoya, first lap 7th fastest. Second lap looking better. And does bump it up. A little bit better than a 1/10 of a second. And Montoya goes to the number 2 slot on the grid for the moment. He is going to be behind Eric Almirola, who just posted the fastest time, Vince.
Eric's smiling for a couple of different reasons. First of all, show us that bracelet you've got on there. Still wearing that from the hospital where he and his wife welcomed their first child into the world. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's been awesome to. It's an experience everybody's told me about. You can't describe it. You can't explain how much you love something. So I got to experience that now. It's been a fantastic adventure the last 2 or 3 days, and now I know why everybody's always like, hey, to their wife and to their kids back home. So want to say hello to my wife and my son back home, and here in Smithfield headquarters, and Richmond, Virginia, and I think our car's okay. We need to be a little bit better in race trim, but Mike Ford and the boys on the Smithfield Ford have come up with a plan for the race tomorrow night, and I think we'll be fine.
Thanks, Eric. Congratulations.
Thanks.
AB?
Bobby Labonte on track. And in the 2150s on his first lap, 5th out of 11 for Labonte. There's a consistent track between 2 laps, huh?
Yeah, and it looked like when we saw Bobby run mostly race runs in that second practice session that his car was pretty consistent throughout that session in race runs. Slows down a little bit on the second lap.
Well, it's certainly not lack of experience. He's got 39 races under his belt here at Richmond.
So Bobby Labonte, 5th out of 11 at this point in the early going in qualifying. Eric Almirola is your leader. Moment to remind you that tomorrow on ESPN, Texas A&M makes their SEC debut from the home of the 12th man, Kyle Field. New head coach Kevin Sumlin looks to make a major statement as the Aggies host Will Muschamp's 24th ranked Gators. It's number 24 Florida and Texas A&M tomorrow 3:30 on ESPN and live on Watch ESPN, presented by Cars.com. NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying, setting the starting field for tomorrow night's chase deciding race. 8 drivers, 2 wild card spots available, plus bonus points for the seeding to launch off into the 10-race chase. Here's David Gilliland on the clock. Love listening to the engine scream around here.
Oh man, they get up some RPMs in a hurry off of these corners.
It's 7th out of 12 for Gilliland on his first lap. Looked like that didn't go all the way to the bottom of the racetrack like he wanted it to.
Well, we've seen that a number of times for a couple of different drivers as he slows down just under 2/10 on that second lap, but it's like they're just trying to get that little bit of extra down into turn 3 where they can make a nice run off of 4, but it's not sticking too well for them.
Just a dozen cars have run. Eric Almirola on top. Casey Mears started first at Bristol. He's coming out soon. NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying at Richmond. Travis Quapple, latest driver to run. 93 cars, 6th out of 13. And on the track, David Stremme. One of those who must make the race on time. And David locks himself in with a nice lap.
Yeah, David's a really good qualifier, but does a nice job in this race car, and another excellent short track racer.
21:59 for David on his first lap. Goes for 2 here.
Not going to improve on that, though.
So 6th out of 14 for David Stremme, and again locked in to Saturday night's race. Bubble cars at the moment, J.J. Yaley and Mark Green. And still 2, 4, 5 more cars to go that have to make the race on time. So as Stremme comes back around, he'll get the word that he's good to go for Saturday night, and that'll be a plus for him.
They're trying to look and see how much, if there's an average of what these cars are picking up. It's somewhere in the 0.4 of a second over what they practiced. Although Eric Almirola was more than that. He was up over 0.7 quicker than what his practice lap was today. Guess that's why he's first. I'm pretty quick.
Well, Scott Riggs has to qualify on his time. He will do so. That's 12th out of 15, but ahead of 3 others in that same category. Hello.
He'll just say that's good enough.
So Scott Riggs in the field at a 21:68. Kyle Busch got a lot to race for Saturday night, Doc.
He sure does. And Kyle, all the other 6 guys vying for the wild card spot say all we got to do is beat Kyle Busch at one of Kyle Busch's best racetracks. How tough is that going to be for him tomorrow night?
I hope it's really tough on him, you know, but we'll see what all happens. We've got a pretty good M&M's Camry. Guys worked really hard today. We've thrown a bunch of things at it, trying to make it a little bit better than what we unloaded. Just seemed to be a little bit different track conditions today than what we expected and what Richmond typically has for us. So had to go to work. Not going to be a simple one.
Hey, good luck in qualifying. Thanks. Kyle Busch, guys.
Interesting. Different track conditions thrown at us. Here's Josh Wise. Josh has done a nice job of qualifying in this car across the middle part of the season. Only made his first start here in late April.
Locked himself in on that first lap. Don't ding it up.
So 21.74, 13th out of 16.
You can see the speed on the tracker he was carrying off turn 2.
A little slower on the second lap, but good enough to be in the field. Josh Wise has qualified. Still 29 cars and drivers left to go. Matt Kenseth headed out toward the grid. At Richmond International Raceway, Ken Schrader is on the clocks in NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying. And Kenny just turning the 15th fastest lap on the session at a 21.70.
Had a little trouble hooking up the rear tires off turn 2 on the first lap.
750 career starts in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. That's a big deal.
Yes, it is.
10th all time. Second lap for Schrader will be a touch slower, so he'll be 15th out of 19 so far in 32. While we were in the break, excellent run for Michael McDowell in that 98 car on the right, second fastest to this point. Locked himself into the field for the race, bumped Mark Green out of the field, and Joe Nemechek also ran his lap, just ran one. 10th fastest on that one and only lap on the clock.
Talking about all those starts with Schrader, I was trying to compute how many beers that might have added up to, but I couldn't even hit close to that addition.
You really got to carry the one.
Yeah.
Here's Jamie McMurray. Speaking of carrying the one.
That was a good segue right there now. He carried that one off turn 2, didn't he? You see, that's where they're really struggling to get those rear tires to hook up. That's where the track really tightens up, and you just really struggle on trying to get that front drive, that rear drive off the corner.
And that's the spot on the racetrack that the sun is directly shining down on. 3 and 4 in shadows now, but not there.
That was good for 4th quickest on that first lap. We talked about how close all this qualifying is, and literally hundredths of a second going to make the difference in each and every spot.
Yep.
There's 6 cars in the 50s already.
Second lap a little slower for Jamie, so it's a 21.53 and 4th fastest for McMurray. Doc?
And catching up with Carl Edwards, fastest car in the final practice session, but they went with first practice to determine qualifying order, which means you go mid-pack here. How does that impact going this early? What kind of speed you're going to have?
Well, I was really frustrated in the garage when I think we were 17th quick in the first practice. I was like, man, I thought we were going to be better than that. Chad said that Bob and I in the spring were 19th quick, and we almost got the pole. So I know we can do it if the car's got the speed. And this Cheez-It Fusion was really fast in race trim. It was unreal in that second practice. So we feel like we have a good setup. We've gambled a little bit where we think the track's going to go. We made an adjustment that is just hoping for the track to change. But you never know. You roll down the corner, and if you hit it right here, it's awesome. And if you miss it, you can qualify poorly, which I've done a lot. But lately, it's been very good.
Carl Edwards, guys, gambling, and what a weekend to gamble. Got to get it done.
Yeah, that's what we talked about to start the show, is that the track is so much different. It really is a guess, and you're gambling on exactly what kind of setup the car needs to run this fast lap.
Now, Kurt Busch had his hands full in turn 2 on that first lap. still a little bit of a slide there.
Yeah, and that's probably created him not getting back to the gas quite as hard either down in the middle of 1 and 2. And this lap's going to be a little bit slower.
8th out of 21 for the former series champ. And Kurt Busch has finished his qualifying laps. The last of the bumping happens when we come back to Richmond. Qualifying at Richmond, Mike Bliss has earned a starting spot in Saturday night's field. Bliss in. The 19th fastest time, bumping J.J. Yaley from the grid. New leader in qualifying during the break, Regan Smith.
Down a big lap right there. It's about a 1/10.5 quicker than the second place car so far, but nice run by Regan Smith.
78 to the top of the board. And now we watch Casey Mears, who has struggled on the first of his 2 laps and goes for 2 here.
He's a little quicker. Looks like it's kind of falling back down on his other lap now, though. Losing speed as he makes the rest of the lap.
Yeah.
Just about the same. Picked up just a couple hundred.
That's 21st
Or
out
actually lost
of 24 that have gone for Casey Mears. Let's check in with Doc.
Talking with Brad Keselowski here. He was visiting with his new teammate, Joey Logano, a moment ago. It looked like you guys get along pretty well already.
Yeah, it's a good start. We're excited to have him here at Penske Racing for next season, but know that he still wants to get the job done in his car for this year.
What about your run here? New car, sort of a new car for you. A lot of R&D doing in practice. Can you get it done here?
You know, I don't know so much about qualifying, but this is the best car I've ever had to race here at Richmond based off of practice, so I'd say that's a little more important.
Good luck to you.
All right, thank you.
Brad Keselowski, how about that best car he's ever had at Richmond, guys?
Yeah, that sounds good because he's been good here before.
Here's Kyle Busch.
He's had a good car here a time or two.
I would say.
Whoa!
And I know he'd like to have that thing stick a little better off turn 2.
Fighting it down in the middle of turn 3 also.
Yeah, he's not going to be real happy with this lap.
It's going to put him second.
Yeah, he's still a couple tenths off of Regan Smith's lap. Let's see if he can pick it up here. But no, not at all. It's actually slower.
I just think unless you really kind of missed that first lap or you were taking it easy for a reason and you adjusted your tire pressures for that, just don't see this track is getting so worn and you still have so much sun down in 1 and 2. It's just going to be very difficult.
The only 3 of 25 cars have picked up on the second lap.
Kyle's first lap faster by 1/100th of a second than his second. So Kyle behind Regan Smith in qualifying at about the midpoint of the session. Reminder that coming up after Sprint Cup qualifying's done, over to ESPN for the NASCAR Nationwide Series race presented by Can-Am at 7 Eastern Time. Tomorrow night, the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series race is on ABC, starting with countdown at 7 Eastern. Who gets those final 2 places in the chase? And then Sunday, the rain-delayed conclusion of the biggest drag racing meet of the year, the Mac Tools U.S. Nationals from Indianapolis, 3 Eastern Sunday on ESPN2. Slide job from Paul Menard on his flying laps.
I tell you, you go to qualify, we talked about the entry to turn 1, how difficult it was, but if you get it down in there, then you've got to nail the throttle and come out of one of the more difficult corners there is. It's what makes this place so fun, but the banking falls away from you so quickly off on the exit of this corner. Makes it a handful for these drivers.
I think Paulo does a lot better job through there that lap, so he's still losing time though off the corner off turn 4. It's like, I guess the tires just all the goodies gone.
Yeah, that, and he got his left front down just off of the banking a little bit in 3 and 4, in the middle of 3, and that hurt him just a little bit.
Paul Menard 6th out of 26 in his Chevy. Regan Smith, the leader in NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying at Richmond. Shaking up the top of the leaderboard in NASCAR Sprint Cup qualifying, Landon Castle just ran the second quickest time at a 21:40. Nice spot up toward the front of the grid for the moment for Landon, and Jimmy Johnson is on the racetrack now. 18 cars left to go, including the 5-time champ.
He's right there at it.
Ooh, he just misses it. 200s. Uh-oh, you're not going to improve.
Going to get. He tried to get more. You can see how he got down in that corner, but
He gave it an opportunity to stick. It just didn't take it. Yeah.
So Jimmy Johnson, 0.02 of a second slower than Regan Smith, who's with Vince.
And Regan watching that run intently and talking about some of the shadows on the track. But you said the sun going into 3 is maybe the biggest issue for guys right now.
Yeah, you know, every time we come here and qualify, it's that perfect time of the day where the sun's right in your eye. And you know, if anything, I think that's going to be the biggest issue. But good lap for the Furniture Row Chevy. I was real happy with it. You know, didn't quite get what I wanted in the second lap, but first lap was enough. So we're proud of that. Hopefully it stays up in the top 5 somewhere. Nonetheless, these guys have been working really hard. The guys in the shop have been working really hard. Todd Barrier came on board a few weeks back with us, and that's been a good change and a lot of excitement out of this team.
Yeah, so far so good today. Good qualifying effort from Regan Smith so far, guys.
Only 2 drivers in the 2120s, Regan and Jimmy Johnson. Here's Carl Edwards. He'll join the crowd in the 2140s.
I think we're going to have a crowd in the 2140s. We already have about 6 cars there already. Yep. We're going to be on that bottom end of it. You're going to be in that, but Carl, I don't think is going to get any quicker here on this one. No.
All the possibilities for Carl to grab a place in the chase on the final night of the regular season, if you will, revolve around one thing. First, he's got to win. Jeff Gordon doesn't have to win to get in, but it sure would make it a lot simpler for everyone to figure out, Doc.
And he couldn't have picked a better time to get hot. A win and 3 top 3 finishes the last 5 races. Jeff, how confident are you tomorrow night can be a Jeff Gordon kind of night?
You know, we had a good practice today. I feel like Richmond's been really good to us in the past. We missed the setup last time we were here. We feel like we got a pretty good understanding as to why. And, you know, the last couple of weeks have gone really well for us. So we got a lot of confidence coming into this race.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Talking to Jeff a moment ago, he said, you know what, guys, it's one of those nights where you got to do what you got to do. He really wants to be in this chase after tomorrow night's race.
Jeff Gordon has a couple of different ways he can get in. He essentially is racing Kyle Busch and others, but Kyle is his primary competition for that final wild card spot.
Well, you can see Matt really working that steering wheel.
Yeah, and you know something I'm seeing with a lot of these other drivers as we compare to Regan Smith's lap is they're attacking turn 1 and through the middle and beating him some there, but he really got off of turn 2 extremely well. Carried that speed back to the start finish line. Matt picks up 100th of a second on that second lap. Still keeps him in 6th.
Well, he's in the crowd in the 2140s. Jimmy Johnson along with Regan Smith, the only guys down in the 2120s, Vince.
Indeed, and Jimmy made a good run at Regan, just couldn't quite get it. What was the difference there?
I can promise you it wasn't from a lack of effort. I didn't make my second lap because I was pinned on effort level there, but great lap. It's hard to think that it's going to stay up there in the top 3 with you know, it being as early as it is, but for the time of day, you know, good lap. Picked up over right around a second, I guess, from practice. Things feel good, so we'll get the slow Chevy dusted off and ready to go for tomorrow night.
Yep, 3-time winner here at Richmond, Jimmy Johnson.
Vince, thanks. 15 cars to go. Casey Kane on the track now. And it would take a lot for Casey to fall out of the chase on Saturday night. He could, but it would take a lot. With those 2 wins already this season. Charlotte in the 600 and New Hampshire in July.
It would certainly be a wild race if all of that were to happen. We'd have plenty to talk about for sure.
If he falls out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then who'd have thought at Homestead last November we'd have 2 guys tie for the number of points at the end of the race and run 1st and 2nd. Casey Kane, second lap, a little bit quicker by 0.04 of a second. 9th out of 31.
Like he had it wide open then, didn't he?
Had it wide open.
I don't see how you can get it that close if you don't.
All right.
That's all it'll do.
Primetime college football tomorrow on ESPN and ESPN2. I didn't know what to say to that. At 7 on ESPN, the Washington Huskies head into Death Valley to take on number 3 LSU and their massive defensive line. And then at 7:45, 2 of the top signal callers in the SEC East square off. Number 7 Georgia's Aaron Murray and Mizzou's James Franklin in an SEC showdown on ESPN2. Washington LSU at 7 on ESPN. Georgia Mizzou at 7:45 on ESPN2 tomorrow.
What Dale's referring to when he talks about being wide open the first lap, his dad used to do the announcing at the track at Hickory Speedway. And I remember when I was a kid, they'd go out there and run really close to the same lap times on the 2 laps. He'd say, well, I guess he had a wide open first lap.
Not the only time y'all shake your heads at me up here. I know that.
I knew what you meant.
Another guy's just got a win, and he's in tomorrow night.
Possibly. Yeah, there are some scenarios under which even a win doesn't get Ryan Newman in.
I like his chances if he wins, though.
Yes. It means bad things would have to happen to both Tony Stewart and Casey Kane.
Good lap there. Got him up to 4th quickest.
In the crowd in the 2140s, but 4th out of 32. Not bad for Ryan Newman. Championship leaders starting the night tomorrow night is with Doc.
That'd be Greg Biffle, and we're talking about qualifying. Greg, a lot of guys can beat Regan Smith going into 1 in qualifying, but they can't get off of turn 2. How do you do that?
Well, it's just, it's a matter of getting your car to rotate in the center, and that's where all the speed comes from. You can drive it down in the corner, but if it won't rotate in the center, you just can't put the gas down, and it screws up the corner exit. So hopefully I'll be able to arc it in and get mine to cut across the bottom. I get the gas down early and see if we can get a good top 5 start.
Hey, good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, maybe you can arc it in, guys. Maybe a pole run for the Biff.
Greg, one of 13 drivers left to go in what's always a fast-moving qualifying session on the short track here. Here's Joey Logano. Been a big news week in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. Matt Kenseth to the 20 car for Gibbs next year. Logano to Penske's 22 next year.
Boy, Joey really sawing the wheel all the way through 1 and 2.
Got a good run off of turn 4 right there. 3rd quickest.
Yep. He does break out of that 40 bracket. He's in the 30s. Just barely. A 21.396.
Good lap going here on this second one, though.
Picks it up. About 600 or 700s.
That could be a lot.
Oh, yeah.
By the time this is over.
21.32 for Joey Logano, 3rd out of 33 that have gone to this point. Dozen cars left to go. Tony Stewart's team already putting it in race mode for tomorrow night. Down to a dozen cars in NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying at Richmond. Who gets the pole? Where do some of the Bubble Boys line up for Saturday night's 400 lap go? Regan Smith, fast qualifier so far. Brad Keselowski trying to give him a run.
Same thing. He carried the speed down into turn 1. Not able to beat Regan Smith off turn 2 and back around. Still another one in the 30s. That's a 21.336 the first lap.
Whoa!
Tell you what, he didn't leave anything right there. Don't see a mark on the car, but it had to be within a 1/4 of an inch.
Yeah, he didn't hit it, but he came about as close as you can.
I think there's a little less liquid coming out of that bottle on that right side, though.
Think you put the stopper back in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, watch this.
Oh, dear.
It's a control slide. Boy, that's close.
Wow.
I'm telling you, that's close. I don't think he touched it, though. This might tell us. Did he touch it?
I don't think so.
Gosh, how did he miss it?
You know, it's been like that commercial where the bottle was hanging on the side of the wall.
Yeah, that's right. It'd have been perfect.
Yeah, knocked the top right off of it.
4th out of 34 for Brad. Mark Martin.
There he goes. He's getting it done now.
Pole sitter back here earlier this year.
Oh, my gosh. Barely going to miss it. Yep.
Got into the 20s, just not quite enough.
Basically ties Jimmy Johnson. He's a thousandth of a second slower than Jimmy Johnson, so that puts him in 3rd place. Not seen anybody be able to pick up really. I say that, but Logano did pick up a little bit on his second lap.
All right, slower on lap 2. So Mark Martin, number 3 on the board. As we're quickly down to 10 cars to go. Doc?
And the man with the hottest hand in NASCAR, Denny Hamlin. You could do no wrong at Bristol and Atlanta. How confident are you that tomorrow night, after 400 laps, we're talking about 3 in a row for Denny Hamlin?
I don't know. It's tough to say. I mean, I've had good practices at Richmond and won, and bad practices at Richmond and won, and it was kind of a mediocre day for our FedEx Express Toyota. So who's to say? Who knows? You know, today we're looking. I'd like to start in the top 8, 7 to 8, to feel comfortable with our car on speed. So we'll get an idea of that here shortly, and then I know our long run speed usually is pretty good here. So I think it's a good shot as any.
Thank you, Denny.
Thank you,
guys.
Here's Jeff Gordon. Oh, got him. To the top of the board. 21-26 for Jeff. Well, if you're going to get that second win or put pressure on Kyle Busch to gain 12 points on him, why not win the pole?
He's got 8 spots between him and Kyle now.
They're both solid. Good job, guys. Real good job, man. That's the way to do it. What a way to step up.
Now, still got 8 cars to go, but
listening to him brought back memories. I can remember. Yeah, it's only a 3/4 of a mile track, and the speeds aren't like what they were at Atlanta, but it takes your breath to go do that. I mean, to get through these corners and to run fast laps, and you could hear it right there with Jeff Gordon.
Marcos Ambrose on the clocks. Vince is with the driver who sits 5th.
Joey Logano pretty happy with his lap. You were one of the few that got faster the second lap than you did the first. What was the difference?
Yeah, I think finding out what your car was going to do, it did a little bit different than I thought it was going to be. So guys did a good job picking it up. I think everyone's been struggling in practice. I didn't say we've been struggling, but I think everybody's not really happy with their cars. So nice and heated today, and a lot of things are going to change tomorrow night when the sun goes down. So we'll see what we got to do with our Home Depot car to go out there and win. And you never know. It's going to be a crazy one.
Keep our eye on it. Joey Logano in the 20. He currently sits 5th.
Got to win to try and get in. Same for Marcos Ambrose, who will wind up 15th out of 37. Had his hands full that second lap coming up off turn 2.
Hands look like we're on that last lap at Watkins Glen. He was battling Brad Keselowski.
How about that 21-26 for Jeff Gordon?
That's a great lap. You know, and you look at that, he's got 8 spots between him and Kyle right now. I don't know how it's going to wind up, and all he needs at the end of the night is 12 spots to get that spot in the chase.
Of course, Jeff knows how to get it done here at Richmond, but it's been a while. Back to 2000 since Jeff has gone to a victory lane at this track.
Yeah, but as you said, he knows how to get it done. He's been in position a number of other times to make it happen. And I heard what sounded like a confidence in his voice in that interview while you. So we're going to be up there in the mix all night tomorrow night. Biffle struggling here on his first lap. And
oh my, 30th quick first lap. Looks like he's definitely going to pick it up.
That's going to get him up to 16th. But probably not what he had in mind for the Biff.
This hasn't been one of his better tracks. He's not finished better than 13th in the last 11 races here.
Jeff Gordon's with Vince.
And right now he's the fastest sitting on the pole, and to get everything out of that and then some, I think.
I did in 3 and 4. I got 3 and 4 great coming to the green and coming back to the white. I just didn't quite get through 1 and 2 the way I'd like to. I actually got down to the yellow line a little bit earlier than I wanted to, so I could have carried a little bit more speed in there. So there's some speed left out there, but still solid day for this Drive to End Hunger Chevrolet. Love having Chase Credit Card Services on board and all their support of this Drive to End Hunger program. And, you know, we'll just see where we end up, but it's been a solid day. Got a good race on. From here on out, you know, we're guaranteed a top 10 spot and see where we end up.
Thanks, Jeff. AB?
Well, Martin Truex Jr. 6th on his first lap.
Well, listen to Gordon there. Sometimes it's hard as a driver to know exactly. You think you've nailed it, but you're not exactly sure. But he was not ahead of Regan Smith going into turn 3, and he talked about nailing turn 4, and that's exactly where he made his time up. So he knew exactly what he had with that race car.
Second lap, a couple of fractions of a second slower for Martin Truex. But the man who came so close to winning at Atlanta last Sunday lined up 6th out of 39 for the moment.
I said there would be hundredths of a second that separate these cars. He's only 1,000th of a second quicker than Brad Keselowski. Now I look back and that Kyle Busch and Carl Edwards are tied. That's just how tight this qualifying session is.
6 cars to go. Here is Denny Hamlin, our ESPN in-race reporter for Saturday night here in Richmond. And who better? Hamlin, winner of this race 2 of the last 3 years. ESPN.com, keywords, in-race reporter, or tweet your question to @NASCAR ESPN. See if DJ uses your question for Denny Hamlin, our in-race reporter, on our ABC telecast.
Well, his first lap doesn't look too stellar.
He is so good here, and I think that even though he didn't have the practice session that he was kind of looking for and hoping for here earlier today, I think in answering the question about 3 in a row, he just didn't want to sound overly cocky either because they are on a nice roll, and he's at a racetrack that probably enjoys more than anything, so he's picking it up on his second lap here.
Oh, yeah, a lot. He's going to get close to Gordon's time here.
Oh, boy. Well, it's going to put him 5th.
We talked about hundredths of a second. He's 5/100ths off of what Jeff Gordon ran. So it's 100th second per position.
That's crazy, isn't it? That is nuts. Jeff Burton will be the last driver to run, Doc.
And how important would a pole be for Jeff Burton and Richard Childress Racing? Jeff, 21:26 is what Jeff Gordon ran. You were the quickest in practice this morning. Can you beat it?
I don't know. We'll get ready to find out. Certainly this track's so close. A small mistake will mean a lot. Hitting everything perfect means a lot. So we'll just go lay it down and see what we got.
Pretty special if you could pull this off.
Oh, yeah, we need some, I feel like, at Bristol, we ran really well and had a good night going. And then last week we ran much better. And, feel like we're starting to turn things around and starting to get, stuff where he feels comfortable with me and we're making speed. So that's a good thing.
Good luck. How about that, guys? How big would this be for Jeff Burton?
Big, huge. These Virginia fans love it when one of their own does well here. Kevin Harvick, first lap, 20th. Tracking better on his second lap, top left. And indeed, picks up a 10th. That's a lot.
That is a big pickup for that second lap.
He's exactly 1,000th of a second faster than Ryan Newman in 11th.
And he's 100th behind Landon Castle in 9th.
So there you go.
How about that? 21:26 is the pole for the moment. Second is 21:27. Third and fourth are 21:29s. Fifth and sixth are 21:31 and 32.
You can't blink that quick.
Sam Hornish Jr. found out this week he won't be in this 22 car for the Penske team next year where the Sprint Cup Series is concerned, but still in pursuit of a Nationwide Series championship.
Qualified 4th for tonight's nationwide race.
He'll be down 10th out of 42 with his first lap. Of course, the Penske team saying they have plans for Sam for next year, be it another full Nationwide Series championship campaign. And he'll fractionally improve on the second lap and move up to 9th place, just ahead of Landon Castle. Right now, 3 cars to go. Sorry?
That's right there with his teammate, Brad Keselowski, just a little over 100th of a second difference.
Well, Boyer, Earnhardt Jr., Jeff Burton. One of them or Jeff Gordon. And by the way, just for some slight championship intrigue with these last few cars that have run, there are now 12 spots between Jeff Gordon and Kyle Busch on the starting grid.
Exactly what he needs. Put a little pressure now on Kyle. I think he can take it, though.
He's awfully good here.
Yeah,
isn't
he is.
It's going to be a fun night Saturday.
Yeah, that's the problem with Jeff's predicament is you can't expect Kyle Busch not to run in the top 10 if they don't have any problems. Kyle Busch is going to run inside the top 10. So that means you would have to win the race.
Here's one you better keep your eye on Saturday night for taking home that trophy. Clint Boyer, awfully good at this racetrack. Former winner here, third fastest on his first trip around.
I really like what Clint Boyer has done. Going over here to Michael Waltrip Racing in his first year, and they've accomplished a lot in a short period of time, and that's third quickest right there.
21-29 for Clint Boyer. Jeff Gordon still leads. Denny Hamlin showing 6th, Vince.
5 100ths. Can you feel 5 100ths when you're out there in the seat?
Not really. I actually thought I had a great lap going, but you know, this car's just been struggling for speed, all-out speed. It needs about a 10th to be really, really good. But proud of the balance Darian put under it. I felt like it was the most balanced my car had been here in qualifying in a while. But I'm excited about the race. I think we're gonna have a good FedEx Express Toyota Camry, and I think we got a great shot at 3 in a row. We just got to keep it going.
Good luck.
Thank you.
AB.
Watching Dale Jr.
On the right way.
Close.
Oh my, that's gonna be. He did it.
New leader, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
That's by less than 100th of a second.
Yeah, 7 1/1000ths of a second.
Talked about all these people trying to get into the chase. For guys like this that are in the chase, what a win would mean Saturday night.
That is P1 on your first lap.
Launch off into a bid for a championship, fresh off another win.
Yeah, and
would be huge.
Yeah, three bonus points that he could collect there for a win tomorrow night certainly would be big in getting started into the chase.
And we're down to 1. It's either going to be Dale Jr. or Jeff Burton on pole position.
Yes, sir, baby. There's Jeff's.
And he doesn't even know just how close it was right
Yeah.
Burton with a chance.
It's
Good
close.
run down back straightaway here.
No, didn't get it in that end of the racetrack.
Looks like he may have overdriven the corner a little bit in 3. He'll have another lap to get it done.
20th on his lap 1.
The lap was faster than what he ran in practice earlier today, but by less than a 10th of a second, and everybody else picking up 3 4/10.
Yeah, this lap's going to be slower than the first one. So Jeff Burton is going to wind up 20th, and the second to last car to run will be the first starter on Saturday night. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is going to lead this field to the green flag after winning his first pole here at Richmond and the 11th of his NASCAR Sprint Cup Series career. We'll talk to Junior and wrap up qualifying when we come back to Richmond. We have just put the wraps on NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying at Richmond. Regan Smith is going to start on the inside of row number 2 tomorrow night.
Yeah, fantastic run. He set the standard there and barely missed getting to the pole.
Jeff Gordon putting some pressure on the rest of his wild card rivals with a great qualifying run.
Off to a great start, just missed the pole by just a few thousandths of a second.
The man who bumped him from that top spot, second to last driver to run, Dale Earnhardt Jr. With his first pole of the season, Steve Letarte pumped up, and Dale Jr. will lead this field to the green flag for 400 laps on Saturday night. Vince?
7 thousandths of a second. That's pretty tight, but you got it done. What kind of confidence does that give you heading into tomorrow after having such a good run here in April where you finished second?
Well, I just think back over the whole last, probably 16 months, how this team's really worked hard to try to improve our qualifying, and how we've made some good strides this year. And this really kind of gives us a good feeling, gives us a lot of confidence, obviously, going into the race.
I love running at Richmond, but we just worked so hard to try to improve on qualifying, so this is a good deal for us.
You're a 3-time winner here. You just mentioned you love running here. What is it about Richmond that you enjoy so much in the racing sense?
It's a lot like Myrtle Beach, which is a track I ran on for 4 years trying to learn how to drive cars, and the place is really similar. So, I came here in 98, 99, had a lot of success in the Nationwide Series, and then won some races in the Cup cars as well. So, I just feel like it's a track that I understand really well and enjoy getting around.
Well done.
Thank you.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the pole for tomorrow night's race at Richmond. Doc?
Talking with Clint Boyer. And Clint, when you look back now and see how close qualifying was, I mean, when you think about how much did you leave out there?
Well, that's just it. When you're that close, you're talking about a couple thousands there. You try to think back, and I just needed to be just a little bit tighter. I knew better. I tell you what happens when the thing turns really good in the center of the corner like that. Your tendency said, "Boy, I'm going to get me a handful of gas," and you get about 3/4 way around there, and it starts unraveling out from underneath of you, and you mess your lap up pretty good then. So I knew better, and I kind of waited for it, and then I tried to put it down wide open off of 4 and spun the second lap. So it was a little bit off, but a really good effort for us. Had a struggle there in the last practice. It's a good way to get things bounced back headed into the race tomorrow night. This is a fun place to race. Our 5-hour energy Toyota's fast, and looking forward to it.
Michael Waltrip Racing, 2 cars in the chase. I mean, I know you were hoping to come here and have a good run, but that's going to be a surprise, even to some people inside the organization.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everybody's on cloud 9, and it's it's fun to see that. It's fun to be with such a new organization, just full of positive things going on right now, and just proud to be a part of it, like I said. But we're not to our destination yet. We're just where we want to be. We still got to get to where we want to be here in about 11 weeks now.
Hey, good luck tomorrow night.
Thanks.
Clint Boyer will start 4th, guys, and like Martin Truex told us earlier in a practice session, he told me a moment ago, he thinks they're going to be a factor in this 10-race chase to the Sprint Cup Championship.
All right, Doc, let's have a look at how they'll line up for Saturday night's 400-lapper here at Richmond. Earnhardt Jr. on pole position.
Yeah, and those Michael Waltrip racing cars, all 3 in the top 9.
Jeff Gordon got a nice little gap on Kyle Busch to start the night.
Yeah, you see Joey Logano, he's starting up there in the top 10.
And Denny Hamlin, winner of this race 2 of the last 3 years, going to be in the first 4 rows for the green. Brad Keselowski said he had the best race car he's had here yet in his Sprint Cup career.
Yeah, he might have even surprised himself with getting that thing up in the top 10 in the qualifying effort, so I know he's excited.
So there's your top 10, a little deeper into the field. Nice qualifying effort for Landon Castle.
Yeah, and you look there, Jeff Burton was the quickest car in practice this morning, and just 20th is all he could do. I'm sure he was disappointed with that.
Kyle Busch back in 15th. Don't expect him to be there very long.
No, I wouldn't think so.
No, neither will you see Tony Stewart back this far very long.
Considering the way practice went, that probably is a pretty decent qualifying.
That's a high water mark for the day.
For the day, yeah. I know it. Saw Marcus Ambrose back there in the middle of them. Got some work to do if he's going to try and win and get one of those wild card spots. Mike Bliss qualified on time. And the final 3 on the grid. Those who failed to qualify are J.J. Yaley and Mark Green. So the attention a lot will be focused on Jeff Gordon and Kyle Busch to start the night, but you've got Ryan Newman, you've got Ambrose and Logano, and all these guys that have a shot to get that second win. Carl Edwards has to win to even have a shot at some of the other scenarios playing out. And then there's the whole people like Dale Jr., for whom a victory on Saturday night would be so huge launching into the chase.
Yeah, it's a freebie race for all the guys that are locked in, and they're going to be going after it for nothing but that checker flag.
Yeah, and I think that's what's going to make it difficult for people like Gordon and Kyle Busch, even as good as he's been here in the past, having to go through these teams that are already in the chase. They've already established how good they are, and there's a lot of winners in that top 10 here that are going to be a part of this. So I think having to go through them is going to make it even more difficult to talk about that. That's what's going to make watching Kyle Busch and Jeff Gordon battle all night to see what they can do so interesting.
And, it's a short track. Circumstances, fenders bump.
I'd hate to be look in my rearview mirror and see Jeff Gordon there on the white flag. I don't care who it is.
Yeah, so it'll be a lot of fun tomorrow night when the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series goes racing. Forming up the grid for the NASCAR Nationwide Series race tonight. And it has been quite a competitive stretch of competition for the Nationwide Series leading into tonight's race. 6 different winners in the last 6 weeks. Brad Keselowski out at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the inaugural Nationwide Series race there. Iowa to Elliott Sadler, Watkins Glen to Carl Edwards, Justin Allgaier in that late twist at Montreal, Joey Logano at Bristol, and it was Ricky Stenhouse Jr. with that late twist and the last lap pass on Kevin Harvick at Atlanta 1 week ago tonight.
Yeah. Guys like Kevin Harvick and Denny Hamlin in the race tonight, you certainly think that there's a good chance we'd make it 7 out of 7.
So a reminder that we're going to move our race coverage over from ESPN2, where we are now, to ESPN for NASCAR Countdown and the race presented by Can-Am, starting at 7 Eastern Time. In just a moment, we'll be headed over there. And don't forget, the Richmond race for the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series is on ABC Saturday night, starting at 7 Eastern Time. The race that will decide who gets those 2 wild card places in the chase. And the biggest drag race of the season, the Mac Tools U.S. Nationals, is on Sunday at 3 Eastern Time on ESPN2. Make up from the rainout that happened a week ago. That is the motorsports action for the weekend on the ESPN networks. And don't forget, anytime throughout any of the motorsports action that we bring you with our NASCAR group here, you can join us on Twitter at NASCAR ESPN. And the hashtag during the race tonight and tomorrow night will be Pit Studio, if you want to join in and be a part of the conversation. And with some of the changes in rules, that little decal there on the side of Junior's car gets him a little extra work to do down at Daytona in February.
Yeah, I didn't realize they made the drivers put the decals on too after you did.
Yeah, you want to put that decal on,
though. So how do you see this playing out tomorrow night? It has all the makings to be a really hard-nosed race. Is it all take and no give, or does that wait until the late stages?
I don't think it's going to. I think they're going to go hard at this right from the very beginning. You've got to establish yourself. You know, things have changed because this racetrack has lost a lot of grip, so strategies have changed quite a bit. I think you have to go hard at it right from the beginning if you're trying to get in there, and especially if you're trying to be in a scenario of win, and that's going to give you your best option of getting in.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to steal some strategy off the pit road. You may have to root and gouge a little bit to get there.
It's going to be a lot of fun to see. That's Saturday night. Up next here on ESPN2 is NFL Kickoff. The NASCAR Nationwide Series coverage begins with NASCAR Countdown over on ESPN right now. Hope you join us. It should be a great race.